YouTube, welcome back to the channel. Y'all know what time it is. It's December, it's almost the end of the year, so why not come at y'all with an updated video of how to buy a gun in California, man, 2024 edition. You know, a lot of things change when it comes to laws, rules, regulations. So I'm going to show all my young people who wish to own a firearm. I'm going to show all my young people, all my hood people, anybody how to buy a gun in California, man, in 2024. So that's what we're going to go over today. As y'all can see, I got the Glock 19 box with me right now, man. This is just for prop purposes, you feel me? So let's go ahead and get into the video. Now, I already made one of these videos about a year ago, and that was the 2022 edition on how to buy a handgun, how to buy a firearm in California, man. So I know it's been a while. I haven't come with a 2023 update, but we already at the end of 2023, so I'm gonna go ahead and skip that. We're gonna go straight to 2024. So if you want to know how to buy a gun in California 2024, Los Angeles County specifically, because that's where I'm located, man, go ahead and tune into this video, man. So now I got a couple notes, you feel me? So just so I can have my speaking points organized. So when it comes to buying a gun in California, there's a few things you need to know. For one, you have to make sure that you even qualify to apply for the gun. Just because you live in the state of California, that does not make you eligible to own a firearm. There's a couple things that you're going to have to check off of the list. I'm originally not from California, so when I moved here, I had to make sure that, you feel me, I had all my ducks in a row, I had everything in order. So this is also going to be a good video for people who not from California, who want to figure out the steps they need to take once they get here on how to own a firearm, you feel me? So first, when you want to get a gun, let's just go ahead and get straight into it. When you want to get a gun in California, you got to make sure that you're eligible. So you got to check your eligibility. In order to check your eligibility, you have to, one, make sure that you're of age. Two, you have to make sure that you don't have a criminal record. And if you do have things on your record, you have to make sure that those things are not serious enough to disqualify you from getting the firearm. Three, you want to make sure that you have California residency. And four, you just want to make sure that there is not any other things that can cause you to be disqualified from owning a firearm, you feel me? So with that being said, I know in my last video, my 2022 video on how to buy a gun in California, I had stated that you can buy rifles and long guns, shotguns at the age of 18 and handguns at the age of 21. Now, that specific law is a little outdated. Now in California, you have to be 21 years of age to buy any type of firearm. Now, that means if you want a shotgun, if you want an AR, if you want an AK, if you want a pistol, it doesn't matter. If you want a little 2.2, it don't matter what type of gun it is, you have to be 21 years of age to purchase a firearm in the state of California. So that's one update that's different from the last video that I dropped. You do need to be 21 years of age to buy a firearm, period, within California. Now, also, you want to make sure that you don't have a serious criminal record that's going to prohibit you from being able to do that, you feel me? So that means, of course, you cannot be a convicted felon. So if you out here, I'm not promoting illegal activity or any of that, but I know that there's people out here who just got to get it how they live. They just got to do what they got to do to survive. So make sure you're not getting caught up with the laws. Make sure that you're able to look good on paperwork so that when you walk into your local firearm dealer and do these applications and they do this background check, that your background check comes clean. That's just for anything in life. It ain't even just about buying firearms. You just want your name to always look clean on paperwork, man. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing corny about that. You always want to have a good criminal, you want to have not a good criminal record, because you don't want to have a criminal record, but if you just want your name to look clean when it comes to legalities in the government, man. You don't want to be owing money to the IRS. You don't want to have bad credit. You don't want to have warrants. You don't want to have a lot of stuff that's just going to make people look at you as a typical statistic in a negative light. So, like I said, of course, you can't have any convicted felon. You can't be a convicted felon. So you also cannot be convicted of a violent crime, even if it's not a felony, which means even if it's a misdemeanor, if that misdemeanor includes any type of assault, intimidation, stalking, domestic violence, anything that can be looked at as violent or aggressive, they may still deny you from being able to purchase a firearm. So just make sure that you don't got no felonies, and make sure you ain't got no misdemeanors either that can make people look at you as a threat. So also, if it's any crime that can be punishable by at least a year or more in prison, they may also disqualify you. So make sure you ain't been convicted of no crime that can have those types of consequences. You feel me? Also, if you're on probation, you might be prevented from owning a firearm too. I don't know how that works necessarily, if that means in general you won't be able to own a firearm, or if it's only for that probationary period. So once you're off of probation, then you might be able to get one, as long as your charges weren't anything too serious, like I just previously stated. You feel me? Next, that was age, criminal record. Next, we're going to tap into your residency status. When it comes to your residency status, there's a couple things that I want to touch on. For one, it is common knowledge that most people are probably going to be U.S. citizens when they're trying to buy a firearm. But one thing that isn't touched on a lot is there's a lot of people who come to this country as immigrants. So if you're not a U.S. citizen, you can still get a firearm. Well, yeah, if you're a non-resident, you can still get a firearm, you feel me? You just have to bring a valid green card when you go to purchase your gun. And you also have to have been within the United States for at least 90 days. So if you're from another country and you come to the U.S., you have to be here for at least 90 days. And you got to take a proof of your green card or some type of residency to the dealer when you're trying to purchase your firearm. You can have a hunting license. You have to have either a hunting license issued by the country or county or foreign government that you're from or that you're coming into. And you have to bring a copy of your visa and your I-94 card. I don't know what that means, but that's just one of the things that I wrote down as a note. This section is a little hard for me to understand, just because I'm born and raised in the United States. So if you understand what I'm talking about, if you're not from here or you're an immigrant, you should know what I'm talking about. And you must not give up U.S. citizenship. Next, we're going to talk about some things that can disqualify you, some other things that can disqualify you from being able to get a firearm in California. If you've been in the military and dishonorably discharged, so that might not even be violent. That could just be anything in terms of you might have been smoking weed, or you might have went AWOL, or you might have just done anything to get you dishonorably discharged from the military. They can deny you, my boy. Like, they can say that they don't want you to buy a firearm. I don't know why. I don't think that's really fair, because there's a lot of reasons that people can be dishonorably discharged, and not all of them have to do with violence or anything, but that's beyond me. That's not that's not for me to speak on. You feel me? If you have a restraining order or protective order put out against you, you can be disqualified. If a court rules that you're incompetent or you have a mental illness, even if you haven't done any violent offenses, depending on what that mental illness is, you may not be trusted to own a firearm. If you have drug addictions, so that means if you have history of going to rehab, that means if you have been arrested on drug possession charges over and over again, or just any type of proof in the system that you're a drug addict or have a history of being involved with the consumption of drugs or the distribution of drugs, they can and probably will deny you. You feel me? If you have been an alcoholic and so you have had to go to AA or you've gone to rehab for alcohol, it ain't just hard drugs. Alcohol is also included in that. You feel me? So yeah, those are just a couple things that can disqualify you from being able to buy a firearm as well. So like I said previously, you just want to make sure that you have a clean name on record in general. That's going to take you a long way in life, and that's what's going to open up a lot of doors for you. So make sure that y'all are out here abiding by the laws. Make sure that y'all are out here moving smart. You feel me? You always want to stay dangerous. You don't want to be no simp or no punk or whatever. You feel me? All of the above. But at the same time, knowing that you still want to carry yourself a certain way to where you'll, one, be respected, but at the same time be looked at as an upstanding citizen. So once you have all of those things covered, those are just the basic things that if you say, hey, I'm good in all those areas, I can now go apply and try to get a firearm. So that was step one, just broken down into a lot of smaller subcategories. Step two is now you got to go get you an FSC card. An FSC card is a firearm safety certification. When you get you a firearm safety certification or a firearm safety certificate, that is basically your permit to go into these gun dealers and buy firearms from here on out once you get that. But you don't need a FSC card if you're active duty military or police, or if you've been honorably discharged or retired from those positions. You don't need a FSC card. You could just go in there and buy a gun, as long as you can furnish proof of that. Or if you have a hunting license, you're allowed to buy long guns without an FSC card. If you are a collector of antiques and relics, you're allowed to buy antique or collector guns. But like, don't nobody want none of them. We ain't robbing stagecoaches. We not defending ourselves from Billy the Kid and all his cowboy friends. So go get you an FSC card, man. Yeah, so in order to get an FSC card, you got to take a test. So I remember when I took my FSC card test, the shit was easy. Like, it wasn't nothing crazy. You just go in to your firearm dealer, your local FFL. You go in, you provide, well, I don't even think you have to provide any proof of, I think you do. I think, yeah, you got to just show your ID and stuff, proof of residency and all that. And then once you take your test, your FSC, when you take your FSC test to get your FSC card, you got to pay $25. It's only $25. So if you ain't got $25, then that means you can't afford a gun anyway, because they cost a lot more than that, especially in California. California guns cost double or triple the price that you're going to pay in other states. So yeah, it only costs $25 to take the test. The test is only 30 questions. I think, yeah, the test is 30 questions, and you got to get, I think, at least a 80 or 90%. So you got to get at least 23 of 30 questions correct. So whatever that math is, 23 divided by 30, move the decimal place, that gives you the percentage that you need to pass the test. I passed it on my first try. I got 29 out of 30 correct. I only missed one, and the one I missed was stupid. Like, I don't even remember what it was, but it was something so stupid. Like, but yeah, don't even try to play me in the comments like I don't need to own a firearm or whatever because I missed one question. The FSC test is very easy. I took it in like, it only took me like 5 minutes to do it. It was multiple choice. So $25, take that 30 question test. If you pass that, you good. You feel me? If you fail, then you can't take it again that day, but you can come back the next day and take it, and they're not going to recharge you. But if you fail a second time, then you got to pay again, my boy. You got to pay again. Ain't shit in life free. You feel me? You got to pay again. Because for one, you paying for wasting their time. And for two, you paying for wasting their resources, their paper, and all that shit. So let's see where we at now. Yeah. So now step 3 is once you pass that FSC test, you could go ahead and buy that gun, gang. You could go ahead and get that thing. But you just go ahead and submit the application. Each time you buy a gun, you still got to submit an application, even if you got your FSC card. They still got to do a background check on you. You still got to pay fees, and then you got to do that 10-day waiting period. The 10-day waiting period is the same. If you want more details about that, you can look at my first video that I dropped about how to buy a gun in California. But yeah, you got to go through that 10-day waiting period. And then you gotta, legally, you have to have a gun safe or a lock for each gun that you buy. But usually when you buy a gun, they give you a little lock anyway. But it'd be like this little rinky-dink ass wire lock or some shit. So whenever I get a gun, I just end up buying the lock box specific for that gun anyway, instead of using the little cord lock that they give you. So once you buy your gun, you select your gun, you don't have to pay the full price that day. You can put down a deposit, and then you can just pay the rest before you come pick your gun up, or like the day of, like when your 10-day waiting period is up and you go get your gun, you can just pay the rest that day if you want to. But before they release the gun to you, just because you bought it, that don't mean they gonna let you just walk off with it. You still gotta, they want you to demonstrate proper safety handling with that gun. So they gonna make you, it may not be in this exact order, but they gonna make you show that your gun is clear, load your gun, put one in the head, take it out, take the bullet out of the head, which it will most likely be like a dummy bullet. It's not gonna be a real one. And then they're gonna make you show that your gun is clear again. So they basically want to see that you can clear a gun, load the magazine, unload the magazine, and then clear it again safely without flagging, without pointing it at anybody. You know, just proper safety handling of a firearm, which should be, that's step 1 anyway. You should really be familiar with all that before you even think about buying a gun. Like, safety is always first. So yeah, and then once you do that, once you perform the safety handling demonstration, they'll go ahead and release the gun to you, and then you can pick it up and take it home. You're going to need ammo if you want to go to the range. When you buy a gun, it does not come with ammo. So when you buy ammo, you are going to have to furnish your identification card and your proof of residency again. Like, every time you buy ammo, you got to show your FSC card, your ID, and proof of residency, or a real ID, a California real ID, or just another government, 2 forms of government issue ID if it's, yeah, that's all you need. So those are the necessary steps to buy a gun in California, 2024 edition. If you want a CCW, or concealed carry weapons permit, that requires other steps, other fees, other tests. But since we're talking about the updated gun laws, and this is an updated video, I do just want to go ahead and let y'all know that throughout California, there is a new law where now, if you want a carry permit, you have to be 21. Like, you can't do it at 18 anymore. Like I stated, just for buying a gun, you have to be 21. You can't be 18. And you have to take at least 16 hours of training, of qualified professional training. So those are just some things to consider if you want to take that step a little further and apply for your CCW. If there's any questions, you can drop them down in the comment section. If there's anything I missed, drop it down in the comment section, because, you know, I'm not perfect. I can't remember to talk about everything. You know, I just got my little bullet points or whatever. And if you're also going to be able to help out people when you do that, because if they watch my video and there's something that I missed, most people are going to read the comment section anyway, so that they'll still be able to have that extra information down in the comments provided to them. You feel me? I appreciate y'all for watching the video. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe for more gun content, for more car content, and for more vlogs. You feel me? Make sure y'all tune into my vlogs. I drop vlogs a lot more regularly than I drop this gun content. And that's just due to the fact that I do live in California, so it's kind of hard for me to make certain gun content that I do want to make, because I am limited to what I have access to and what I'm able to do here in California as far as customizations go and stuff like that. So I am thinking about moving if I end up doing this gun content full time and stuff, and I'm able to start making money and making a living off of this YouTube. I will move to another state just to be able to give y'all the best quality content that I can. So like I said, man, I appreciate all y'all watching this video to the very end. If you made it down to the end, make sure y'all put more luxury in the comment section, just so I can know that you watched the video to the end. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Until next time, make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. It's your boy Dussei.
Give me the loot, follow the suit, screaming out gang, 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 rolling with the crew. Give me the juice, pour me a two. I'm with the gang, 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 rolling in the coops. Give me the loot.